congratulate you, this musical video experience you are doing. Can you shed more light on the idea behind this project? Why was it so important to, put together, some of the songs by the legend himself, Fela, and then some of your songs, attempt to
Why?
rebrand yourself as it were.
I happen to have worked with the legend, Fela Anikulapo, and I was his deputy band leader before he died. And my life, my experience with him is what made me what I am today. It's what brought me here today. Because I think about 15 years ago, I wasn't a musician. I know nothing musically. What my father was planning for me is to be a automobile engineer. Because I happen to be the son of Alhaji Sikiru Adedimeji Fagbemi, who happens to be the junior brother of the African boxing welterweight champion, Raimi Joe. And at the same time, he was also the accountant general of Nigerian Texaco. And he is the same person that trained the Alafin of Oyo boxing at 168 Ayelara. So when I got to Fela's house in the early 70s.
Why? What was important to go? Why was it important to go to Fela's house?
Yeah, well, as a stowaway, not only a stowaway, we have variety of delinquent. I was a juvenile delinquent then because I ascribed from an abandonment. And by the time I got to my father's place, the life around there was completely different from where I was coming. I have to run away from his house.
In Lagos?
Not in Lagos.
Yeah.
So when I run away from my father's house, I was living by my art. And what was the art? Then I was an acrobat, a yogalist, a fire eater. So I used to use those arts to feed myself, to make my living. So one day, a guy just walked to me and said, "Boy, I want to work with you. How do I work with you?" And then I asked him, "What kind of work?" He told me that he's a dancer and he's a promoter. That if I work with him, I will be performing with him anywhere he goes. Then I took him to my mother's elder brother. And my mother's elder brother told him that, "He's my son. If anything happened to him, I will kill you. Go." That was how this man brought me to Fela's house in the early 70s. When we got to Fela's house, I was introduced to Fela. Then Fela said, "Okay, bring him to the shrine, Surulere nightclub."
Yes.
When we got there, I performed. A lot of people dashed me money. So when we finished that first show and went back home, Fela now called me that, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Riliwan Adedimeji Fagbemi." Fela said, "You can't bear that name in my house. But as per what you are doing, I will give you the name Showboy." And that was how people started calling me Showboy 50 years ago.
So Fela gave you the name Showboy.
Thank you. When Fela gave me that name, I was now bearing that name. As a dancer, I used to perform with the dancers every comprehensive show at the shrine. That was in Surulere nightclub. Now, in 1974, someone left Fela that touched his heart, that broke him down.
Oh,
Igochiko.
Igotiko.
Igochiko was the tenor saxophone player who played solos in Lady and Shakara Oloji. So Igochiko decided to leave Fela in that 74. And in that same 74, Bob Aladeni also left Sonny Ade, who was his lead guitarist. So now Bob Aladeni and Igochiko, they now came together and formed a band called Afro Juju Band. In that 1974, they did an album, Afro Juju, that they released. But Igochiko died that 74. Bob Aladeni had an accident that he was paralyzed that 74. Those are the creators of Afro Juju music. The first, it was Bob Aladeni and Igochiko, and I happen to know him. So when Igochiko left as Fela's tenor saxophone player, Fela now told us in the house that if anybody see Chico around, tell him I want to see him. So one day people went to tell Fela that, Fela, Chico is in the street in Olufeide. Fela said, go and call him, tell him I want to see him. They now went and called Chico. When Chico came, Fela said, Chico, you have gone. You have dropped this saxophone. What do you want me to do about it? Nobody to play it. If you know you cannot come and play it, show me how I can manipulate it, how I can set my fingers on the key and I will be able to learn how to play it. Igochiko taught him one key, which is key C on the tenor saxophone. So when Fela tried to play it and got it, Fela told him that don't worry, I will learn it. That was how Fela became a saxophone player. Along the line, when I saw him teach himself how to play saxophone like that,
Yes.
I was, impressed, and from there, I choose to play the instrument.
The instrument. Okay, great. Why was it so important at this stage to the need for rebranding, for people to come and see the showman that they used to know, especially the fact that you have written songs, for Showboy Kuti, you have written songs, Afrobeat songs.
Yeah.
So at this point, you are coming out fully to say, here I am.
Yeah. Why I'm coming out is because I am overripe. People I train in Fela's band have created their own band. I still stay in Fela's band because of the promise I did to Fela the day I was burying Fela with his family. I told him I will stay by his son, Sheun Kuti, till he gets matured to the point of, being able to control everything himself. And I have achieved that. I've stayed there for 27 years after Fela died. And I contributed in his development. That is why in 2-3 of his albums, I have a track in it as my own compositions. So now, I think it's time for me to come out as an artist. And those who believe in me started investing in me that, okay, let's push you and see where we get to. That's why we are doing this.
4 songs. Can you talk?
Not only 4 songs. I've done a lot of songs.
No, I'm talking about what you have done. No, I'm not talking about what you have done.
what I'm doing here now is just I'm trying to, bring out some things from myself and some things from my boss, whom I spent the better part of my life with. In the last 50 years, I've been around the Kuti. So I deserve it.
Can we speak to some of the songs, the titles, what
Well, I
title?
did like African Soldier. Yeah. I did the remix because when I wrote it,
Oh, you wrote African Soldier?
yes, when I wrote it, it was sung by Shehu. I recorded, it's like my first track that Shehu released in his first album. It's called Don't Give That Shit to Me. And Shehu released it because the promoter who took us on tour told us that now that Fela is dead, we need to contribute to join hands together, because if we want to have recognition all over the world, we have to start doing our own work.
Yeah.
That was why he proposed that when we write a song, we should allow Shehu to sing all the songs, but our credit will be there.
Okay.
And he made us play all the songs in the studio here in Lagos, and he took them to Paris and registered them with SACEM, that this song is yours, this song is mine. So, and in the 5 songs of mine that I registered with SACEM,
Yeah.
Shehu has released 3.
So you have 2 that are still.
I still have 2 with SACEM. So the first 3 are part of what I am remixing now, reworking on them. Like I wrote
One of the tracks.
Don't Give That Shit to Me.
Yes.
I wrote African Soldier. Fela used what I gathered and experienced from Fela. Fela always writes songs about what is happening around him. My Don't Give That Shit to Me,
which is one of the songs that he had.
One of the songs that Shehu have released, that I wrote, and I participated in recording it in Paris. In fact, we recorded it at the same studio I recorded with Fela 17 years after. My African leaders, they changed it to I call it African Soldiers, because African soldiers, they will tell the people that they have stepped aside. They have never gone. They always step aside. And when they step aside, is to pull off the uniform and wear agbada to cover their boot.
Okay. That has political undertone as it is.
Yes.
Which other one again, apart from African Soldier?
Apart from African Soldier, I wrote another one.
One of the songs that you just worked on. That's what I'm talking about.
My Kalakuta experience. I talk about my experience around Fela, yes. How we got Kalakuta, because I happened to be there when that name Kalakuta came. It was in 1974. We were locked up in Alagbon. And in Alagbon, they now locked us in a cell called Kalakuta cell. Mm. So we spent like 3-4 weeks in Kalakuta cell in Alagbon. But on that raiding, Fela was seriously wounded. So he was taken to Falomo Police Hospital while we were locked in Alagbon at Kalakuta cell. That is where we brought that name, Kalakuta Republic.
For those who have followed your career projection, what are those new things where people should expect to see as you come out fully?
Well, as I come out,
perhaps an album, an EP, or a single as it
as I come out now, I'm coming with an album, an EP. I'm going to release soon. We're working on it. Okay. I have other tracks I'm working on, because this is the time.
So how soon should we expect the EP? What should your fans expect?
My fans should expect more and more from me. A lot because Afrobeat. I happen to be one of the people that worked with the legend, and to prove to the world that I worked with him, I have to bring out what I gained from him as a musician. The EP is coming out in June.
Okay.
And people should expect it in June. And I have 3 tracks in it.
3 tracks?
Yeah.
You know about the title, African Leaders?
African Leaders.
Afrobeat, African Leaders remix. And then there is
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Great. So in all of these, what should their fans expect beyond what you just said? Are there in some of these songs, are there ones that you find that they particularly highlight your career projection? I asked that question.
Oh, yeah. Like the African Leaders, I have played it all over the world myself.
Yes.
With the Egypt 80 band.
Go.
Because then I was still playing my instrument, the Baritone Sax.
Don't you think, don't you think age will also be a factor here? Would you have that vibrancy to be able to deliver?
Yes, I
give
would.
The audience the kind of, given what is happening today.
Yeah.
There's a backdrop of Afrobeats.
Yes.
As different from Afrobeat.
Yeah.
So you are assuring your fans
because
that
we are the owners of Afrobeat music. Okay. Afrobeat music is a revolutionary music. It's a music we use in expressing our grievances to our leaders. Are not doing the right thing.
Okay. Like showbiz, like showman.
Yes.
So the show aspect of the man will come to the fore.
Of course.
Say by June. What after that, what next?
After that, we work on other new tracks. We have the democracy. Democracy in Africa is to keep my people in total hunger, permanent darkness, a lot of other things.
You have plans for collaboration?
Oh yeah, I have plans for
any artist in mind this time around?
I have some artists in mind, like the one that just died. We were supposed to work together. Okay. Tony Allen. I have done some work with him already. I've recorded with some of them.
And are you planning to bring back those songs? At least
yes. I'm planning to bring back those
in form of tribute.
Yeah. And I'm writing a tribute for Tony Allen because he was the first man I started playing an instrument with before getting back to Fela as a musician.
So what is your opinion about Afrobeat generally today?
Well, Afrobeat music, don't forget today in the world, they have named it world music. It wasn't world music. It was known as Afrobeat, as the reggae is known as reggae music.
And with your comment,
jazz is known as jazz music. But you will discover that after Fela died, we now have thousands of Afrobeat players. Some people are in this country today, they are even telling you that they are not playing Fela's Afrobeat, but they call their music Afrobeat.
Do you think this is correct?
It's wrong.
Okay. How do you hope to redefine or change this perception?
We have to let them know. You see, Afrobeat is a revolutionary music. It's not a joke. Fela, who created it, did not create it for money making.
In a nutshell, how would you describe Showman?
He's Fela's disciple. And I'm continuing that legacy. That is what kept me in the Egypt 80 till date. I'm still a member of Egypt 80 till tomorrow.
What's your message to not just your fans, Nigerian musicians out there? I mean, music enthusiasts out there.
Well, music enthusiasts in this country, everybody knows that yes, our brand of music. Yesterday It used to be seen as music for the abandoned children, music for the outlaws. But today, everybody wants to play Afrobeat. Today, people have recognized Afrobeat. That is why today, Afrobeat is world music. All over the world, go to China, they are playing Afrobeat. Go to India, they are playing Afrobeat. When Fela died, we now had over 1,500 Afrobeat musicians in the state alone. Well, there has been a lot of challenges because those challenges were meant to be because of the destination and the path we follow. Because don't forget, when Fela left us, we decided to continue with his legacy because we believed in what he was doing. And that is what kept us together till today. And I can rightly tell you that in the world, you will never see any band that the band leader has gone for over 20-25 years, the group are still together. It's because of the legacy he left and what we believed in. And that is why we want to keep it.
Have you ever been embarrassed?
Never.
In all your career as a musician, whether
Never.
on stage or off stage?
Never.
So, no regrets?
No regrets. I'm happy doing what I am doing. That's why I'm there till today. Fela made us to understand one thing, that you don't joke with music. You know, Afrobeat music is our identity, is our dialect, is our language. Nobody can play it better than we, the Africans, and mostly the Nigerians who wants to dwell into Afrobeat should be prepared for it. It's not a joke. It's a brand of music that is loved and being played all over the world. Today in India, in China, in Japan, they are listening to Afrobeat. I played at the Naeba Jazz Festival, over 750,000 crowd. In Japan, with Fela Kuti.
So obviously you will likely also collaborate with Showboy Kuti at some point.
Yes. I'm still working with him. I can collaborate if I tell him.
What about Fela Kuti?
Fela Kuti, I go to his shrine. Fela is good. You know, they are like the source of Afrobeat, and they are doing well. And we are happy about it that they are doing it, because if it's not a good music, they wouldn't have taken it to this height.
So lastly, how do you hope to carve a niche for yourself as a musician without being subsumed under the huge umbrella of Afrobeat?
Well, I have already made my name as Fela's baritone saxophone player. And today I am known all over the world. Google my name, you will see me. I'm everywhere. I've gone round the world with Fela, and I've gone round the world with Showboy. So I've made my name. I might be here in Nigeria today. The people that know me outside Nigeria are more than people that know me in Nigeria. Yeah, because I have played in most important and great halls. I played at the Apollo Theatre, I played at the Acklin Empire, I played in New York, I recorded at the Sound and Sound Studio with Fela, I recorded at the Addis Ababa SOS. I did a lot of shows with Fela outside the country, so I am known. I don't need any identity or identification. If you want to know me, Google Showboy or Fela's band. It will give you my information immediately.
We are in 13 in number.
13-piece band
Yeah,
as it
13
were.
piece band, yeah. Then we
Oh.
have we have one tenor guitar, we have keyboard, bass, drums, conga, claps. Then we have all 4 horsemen, 2 backup. We have Showboy and we have Abby.
Scanty for potentials ventures into Showboy, because Showboy is one legend in the community of Afrobeat, and with a lot of profile from his past experiences and to date, So the company just find it interesting to put in their resources and see how it can equally continue the legacy that his mentor already led. And because he's one of the most committed, passionate, and dedicated disciple of Fela Anikulapo Kuti, so he still believes that this is a legacy that will not die off, no matter how other people takes it, but he will keep the legacy alive. So with that, it gives us a lot of interest to pick him up, brush him up, and bring out this project to where it is today, and believing that the world is going to enjoy again the original Afrobeat through Showboy.
For the frog, for the back.